Why is everybody going to Area 51? Why is that a meme of all things?
I really don't understand the sudden obsession with Area 51.
So
I don't.
Okay.
I've tried.
So here's a part of my understanding. It started with one of those Facebook invitations.
Did an alien invite someone to Area 51?
No. It's a Facebook...
Was it Mulder?
FaceApp.
FaceApp is back. Good talk.
Good talk.
Okay, so you're probably familiar with FaceApp,
Mm-hmm.
and you're probably familiar with the internet saying, don't use it, it's bad, it's your privacy. Yeah, because it's true, actually.
Yeah.
Number one lesson, when installing a new app on your phone, check the permissions first. Make sure you're comfortable with those permissions.
These permissions, were very evasive.
Now, that's the TOS. It's perfectly normal to not read TOS.
Because
that's a thing.
That's the thing. Yeah, reading TOS is
Who reads TOS? I don't read TOS.
Yes.
I actually just learned a lot about TOS.
We talk about the TOS in different settings, but it's just but you're so anxious to get to the products. Yeah, I just want to click that. So you never know what you've actually.
The main thing when I open an app on my phone that I want to install, first thing I look at is ratings and reviews. 1.8 million people have installed this app, and it's got a 4.5 rating. Primarily, it's good.
Okay.
The top positive review is lots of great stuff in the free version. Top critical review, your app doesn't work. Installed it an hour ago, since that I'm trying to get it to work. The fat cat keeps telling me something went wrong. I don't know what that means. Interesting. So, I check out the reviews, how many people have installed it. But then I will check app permissions. This wants access to your camera, your storage, read the contents of your SD card, modify, delete contents of your SD card.
Sounds pretty...
Have full network access, view network connections, prevent phone from sleeping, play, install, refer API, Google Play billing service, receive data from internet, read Google service configurations.
See, that gets a little bit too much. Being able to read your card is one thing. They want to load pictures on it. It's a photo app, so,
Yeah, it's perfectly normal for a photo app to want to read and write to your SD card. That's normal. It is a photo app.
Yeah.
It is designed to take photos, pull photos from your album. I don't know specifics because I have not installed this app, and I will never install this app. Prevent phone from sleeping, that's kind of normal for a camera app.
Yeah.
Billing service, that's normal because there are paid elements to it.
Paid elements.
So, I initially, when I heard of FaceApp, I saw everybody posting their photos of, this is what I look age. I'm those are actually really good filters. I'm curious. And I automatically assumed it's a Snapchat filter. So I went into Snapchat, and I was looking for this filter. I didn't see it. All I saw was the filter that, makes a guy look like a girl look like a guy. I'm okay, those aren't new. So, okay, maybe it's an Instagram filter. Went into Instagram. It's not there. So I Google it. Oh, it's a separate app. Yeah, I'm not comfortable installing an app just for that one thing. Never mind, I'll pass. On Tuesday, that's when everybody's posting these FaceApp pictures. I'm okay, I'm checking it out. But once I realized that's a separate app, I'm I don't need it, it's fine. And Oko had mentioned it.
And I've heard of FaceApp before. It's wait, wasn't that one people didn't like, or why is it making a comeback?
Yeah, and I didn't remember it, but I did see that people had talked about it in the past. So I kind of let it go. But then on Wednesday, reports start coming out about there's some political, Russian connections to it, and then some questions about your privacy. And I wasn't thinking about it too much, but then I started seeing it's this is reading your information, this is a breach of privacy, this is bad. I know a lot of people, I'm friends with a lot of people on Facebook that they work in areas where they need to be concerned about their privacy and their security. And I started seeing some of these posting pictures from FaceApp on their Facebook. I'm shouldn't you be more careful with your privacy?
Yeah.
I'm a little concerned, so I posted on Facebook. So big thing is, there is substantial evidence that FaceApp is owned by an organization that is owned by the Russian government. So there's concern that the Russian government is gathering data on people using this app. So I had posted on Facebook, this is why you always check permissions and read up on something before installing it. As soon as I realized this wasn't a Snapchat or Instagram filter, I was uncomfortable with it and didn't even search it for it. Internet safety should always be priority over being silly. Facebook just wanted to see how much you aged in 10 years, but you essentially gave the Russian government access to your identity. Good game, folks. Basically, there's reports from 2014 about this company is part of the Russian government holdings. Just because, something's from Russia doesn't make it automatically bad.
Yeah.
It just means you need to be aware of what you're installing and where it's coming from. So generally be careful. For my job, because I do social media management and I train people about, a lot of what I do is I provide information on using social media safely and wisely. So I posted this on my work account. I said, please don't use FaceApp. Per their terms of service, by using the app you, and this is quotes, from their terms of service, grant FaceApp a perpetual, irrevocable, non-exclusive, royalty-free, worldwide, fully paid, transferable, sub-licensable license to use, reproduce, modify, adapt, publish, translate, create derivative works from, distribute, publicly perform and display your user consent and any name, username, or likeness provided in connection with your user content in all media formats and channels now known or later developed without compensation to you. When you post or otherwise share user content and any associated information, such as your username, location, or profile photo, you will be visible to the public.
That's a lot of stuff.
Yeah, that's a lot of words. So let me pull up the Facebook TOS. It says permission to use your content you create and share. You own the content you create and share on Facebook and other Facebook products you use, and nothing in these terms takes away the rights you have to your own content. That is key right there. FaceApp doesn't say a word about it. They don't say, oh, you own the rights to your content. They don't say we own the rights to your content. They just say we have license, and they make no clarification about the rights. They just, ignore that part. So you're free to share your content with anyone you want. Specifically, when you share, post, or upload content that is covered by intellectual property rights, like photos or videos, on or in connection with our products, you grant us a non-exclusive, transferable, sub-licensable, royalty-free, and worldwide license to host, use, distribute, modify, run, copy, publicly perform or display, translate, or create derivative works of your content, consistent with your privacy and application settings. This means, for example, that if you share a photo on Facebook, you give us permission to store, copy, and share it with others, again, consistent with your settings, such as service providers that support our service or other Facebook products you use. So yes, they have license to use your photos, but they indicate they're going to use it in connection with services you're using, basically to advertise to you.
Which is honestly very creepy too.
Yeah, it's wrong, and we've all seen how it works, but they are telling you why they're using it.
It doesn't make it any less right though.
But FaceApp doesn't tell you what they might use it with, and they're like, we can sell it. We'll do whatever we want. It's there. So you end this license anytime by deleting your content or account. Do you want to know the difference between that and FaceApp? You're giving FaceApp an irrevocable license. FaceApp doesn't care if you delete your account or however you do it. They don't care if you delete it, remove things, wipe the app from your history. They own what you put out with them forever. It is irrevocable. Facebook says, you delete it, we don't have license to it. Now let's see what Instagram's TOS says. Permissions you give us. As part of our agreement, you also give us permission that we need to provide the service. We do not claim ownership of your content, but you grant us a license to use it.
So it's like the same
wording.
Kind of the things like when you upload stuff for Etsy or like upload things for like Sticker Mule, you grant them that license to reproduce that thing.
Yeah. And they're not saying we're going to use your content to make money and not pay you. I mean, they don't have to pay you. They're not saying we're going to make money off you. They're just saying we're going to use that to advertise. We do not claim ownership of your content that you post on or through the service. Instead, when you share, post, or upload content that is covered by intellectual property rights like photos or videos on or in connection with our service, you hereby grant us to a non-exclusive, royalty-free, transferable, sub-licensable worldwide license to host, use, distribute, modify, run, copy, publicly perform or display, translate, and create derivative works of your content consistent with your privacy and application settings. You can end this license anytime by deleting your content or account. However, content will continue to appear if you share it with others and they have not deleted it. So, this is relatively similar to Facebook's for one big reason. Facebook owns Instagram.
Yep.
But they both clarify, if you delete your content and account, our license has been revoked. Now, this information may still be there if you've shared it with someone and they don't delete it. Which makes sense. Makes absolute sense. If you're sharing, hey, here's this photo, and I shared it to you, and you put it on somewhere and somebody else has it, well, that's now that person's responsibility to remove it. And you can ask them to. If you ask them to remove it, boom, it's gone. We're not debating Facebook and Instagram privacy issues right now.
Oh, no.
What we're debating is why FaceApp is bad in comparison to. Because FaceApp says, they tell you, we have an irrevocable license to your materials, to anything you post in your name and your username. And I'm like, okay, these people I know who work in a place where they need to keep their privacy secure have posted these pictures, which now means this app, potentially owned by the Russian government, could ruin their lives if the wrong people decided to do the wrong thing. And I had a comment, somebody said, NPR said this morning that most apps have the same wording in their terms and cited Instagram as being the same. Smiley face. And I'm like, let me go read the Instagram terms of service. I replied, there's key wording differences. FaceApp has perpetual, irrevocable rights as well as, and then this was, I did a little more research, a lot of them are transferable, honestly.
Yeah.
But primarily, perpetual, irrevocable license. And I was using the wrong words at the time, but meaning the right thing, and they understood. They lay claim to your name and username, while Instagram doesn't lay claim to anything, just, the license, that's it. And then I shared the thing. And then somebody said, yeah, this isn't new. Facebook's version has almost the exact same wording in their terms of service. And then Facebook's a whole different animal with privacy issues.
Yeah.
But I went back and I read the Facebook ones. And I said, you retain ownership of what you share, while they just have the license to use it. And they clarify that if you can end this license at any time.
By deleting the account.
Yes, exactly. Basically, it comes down to, yes, all these apps have very similar wording in how they license your materials that you provide. The big difference with FaceApp is their license is irrevocable. And they're saying, we can use it however we want forever. So then comes the concern, if this is an app that's owned by the Russian government, or even anybody who has any intention of doing something bad with it, they own your picture, your name, your username. Okay, they don't own it. Your rights are maintained by you, because they don't even redress rights. So clearly you would have the argument that I still own my rights. Facebook and Instagram clearly state your rights are your rights. But they have the license to use this forever. And that's why they don't even address your rights, because they're essentially saying, rights? What rights? We don't care about rights. We licensed it. We own it. So they own it forever. If you ever want to work for the government, and perhaps do something that needs to put you off the grid, and the wrong person gets a hold of this information from FaceApp, they can out you and potentially harm you. Like, not harm you,
Docs?
well, yeah, basically they can dox you with it because they own your information forever. So if you have not downloaded FaceApp, don't download a FaceApp. If you have, just delete it right now and stop using it.
Okay.
Your information, honestly, your information's already there. You might as well keep using it. But because I don't know what it takes to trigger any of their information, just delete it, get rid of it. But you know what?
What?
Nobody's making you use Facebook or Instagram. If you are not comfortable with it, you can delete it.
Like, you have to have a lawyer to read this stuff. But you just want to post pretty pictures. Because being able
I'm not talking to you, Google. I'm not talking to you. I am aware there are certain conversations we don't have in front of Google Home.